शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में एक रत्न दादी गुलजार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में एक रत्न दादी गुलजार। जग में बांटा प्यार प्रभु ने, जग में बांटा प्यार प्रभु ने। आपके रथ पर हो के सवार, आपके रथ पर हो के सवार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में एक रत्न दादी गुलजार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में। जितना पाठ मिला जीवन का निभा के उत्तम दिखलाया। जितना पाठ मिला जीवन का निभा के उत्तम दिखलाया। ज्ञान सुनाया सारे जगत को आपने प्रभु से मिलवाया, आपने प्रभु से मिलवाया। करवाया महसूस कि क्या होता है निश्चल सच्चा प्यार। करवाया महसूस कि क्या होता है निश्चल सच्चा प्यार। जग में बांटा प्यार प्रभु ने, जग में बांटा प्यार प्रभु ने। आपके रथ पर हो के सवार, आपके रथ पर हो के सवार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में एक रत्न दादी गुलजार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में। ये भी प्रभु की योजना के हित आपका जग में आना था। ये भी प्रभु की योजना के हित आपका जग में आना था। और किसी नई योजना के हित आपका जग से जाना था, आपका जग से जाना था। केवल तन है त्यागा लेकिन नहीं है त्यागा शिव परिवार। केवल तन है त्यागा लेकिन नहीं है त्यागा शिव परिवार। जग में बांटा प्यार प्रभु ने, आपके रथ पर हो के सवार, आपके रथ पर हो के सवार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में एक रत्न दादी गुलजार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में एक रत्न दादी गुलजार। जग में बांटा प्यार प्रभु ने, आपके रथ पर हो के सवार, आपके रथ पर हो के सवार। शिव बाबा के अष्टरत्नों में।
Om Shanti, everybody. So nice to see all of these faces here that want to learn about the hidden secrets behind Dadi Gulzar. And so we have two very special souls with us today. Sister Geeta, who is from LA. She coordinates the LA Center and all the functionings in that area, California, USA. And Sister Geeta has been in Gyan over 40 years, maybe even close to 50 or over 50. How many? 44. Okay. And one of the things that I really appreciate about Geeta is that she served Dadi Gulzar for many years, maybe even decades. Every time Dadi Gulzar, do all of you know who Dadi Gulzar is? Is there anyone who does not? Okay. So really, Baba came through Brahma Baba, Shiv Baba came through Brahma Baba, but when he left the body, then Dadi Gulzar became the main instrument, and actually the only instrument, and the only instrument that was videoed. So every time we see Baba, it's coming through Dadi Gulzar. Well, Sister Geeta spent so much time with Dadi Gulzar, and so the thought was that she could tell us about the secrets behind, because all we see is Dadi Gulzar always being very silent, very royal, and then the instrument to give Baba's knowledge. But what is it like? What is Dadi Gulzar like when she's not on stage? Because we all just see her on stage. And so she's going to tell us all of these divine secrets. And interviewing her, so we have two special souls, and both of them are my friends, I'm proud to say, is Sister Geeta, who is also from the United States, Washington, D.C. Oh, did I say Geeta? Jenna. Yeah, Sister Jenna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so she has a lot of specialities too. One of her specialities, so this one's very silent, quiet, and that one over there is very talky, but nice talky. Yeah. She does a show called America Meditating, which is a radio show that's on the internet. And she's now in the process of doing a Netflix series. So, but everything that she talks is always Gyan or always interviewing. And so I thought it would be a good combination here, a good mix for these two elevated souls. So here we go. Om Shanti. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister. Does everyone know Sister Dorothy? Well, she's from the famous Peace Village and a pillar in the Yagya for America. Om Shanti. Hello, everyone. Everyone's okay? Good. All those in the back, are you naughty students? You should come up front so you can bask in Sister Geeta's vibrations. What a wonderful topic we're about to explore. And I'll be mindful of all the translators, so I'll definitely slow down. But what a wonderful topic. Behind the scenes with Dadi Gulzar. For those of us who used to see Dadi Gulzar, she was the image of perfection. And we just never knew always how to speak with her. When you would go in front of Dadi Gulzar, you didn't want to speak. What could you say to an image that was so divine and so perfect? You just wanted your intellect to be free and to receive. So for Sister Geeta to have spent quite a number of years in Dadi Gulzar's journey and with Dadi Gulzar's right arm, Sister Nilu. It'll be very interesting for us to find out what's been going on with her. But before we go a little bit into Dadi Gulzar, tell us a little bit about your journey in America and the service that you have done so far, do you feel that you really are in that place for something unlimited?
Om Shanti. 1980, I was in London, and from London used to come Madhuban every year. Many my friends, spiritual friends in center, majority came from London, from Africa to London, and I also born in Africa. During that time, in 70s, many came back because of many chaos happened in Africa. So they didn't have the passport or visa to come to Madhuban. And I became their messenger. And every time they gave the letter or some message or some gift for Bab Dada or Dadi, I don't know still. I didn't have that type of guts to go to Dadi's room or to speak to Dadi. But somehow, when Bab Dada's day was there, I don't know what the divine energy was pulling me there. I go to Dadi's room, Dadi Gulzar's room, and especially that day, Dadi kept silence. She never talked to anybody. But somehow that day, I do remember 1980, it was in February time. And I went there, and we had this drashti exchange. And with that silence, she just nodded. And I just shared that, Dadi. I hand over the letters and all the messages. And Dadi simple says that when your turn comes, see what Bab Dada gave the message. And in 80s, Baba used to personally meet one-to-one. And whatever Bab Dada wanted to share about that, Baba gave the message, and I was just taking that message back. And that's where my relationship started in 1980s.
Was it Dadi Gulzar? Was it Dadi Gulzar that sent you to America?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that. How did that happen?
1984, they went in San Francisco when Sister Denise went to Los Angeles, and there was a vacancy in San Francisco. And same time, they needed one Kumari in New York. And being in London, sustained by Dadi Janki, Sudesh Didi, Jayanti Ben, nobody wanted to leave London to go any places. Many sisters Dadi sent, and then they left back because nobody liked it. And finally, I had a permanent visa for America, and Dadi Janki told me to go to America. Again, because of hearing so many stories, I also was disappointed a little bit that why Dadi knows and why Dadi sending me. So during that time, I was a little close to Dadi Gulzar. So I went to Dadi Gulzar and I says, Dadi, why Dadi is sending me? And Dadi told me that in the morning, you come to me, I will let you know. Dadi Gulzar's one thing, whatever Yagya asked, she will, in the morning when she was, after Amrit Vela, she goes to Baba, and whatever the message is she gave. So she mentions Baba, and Avyak Bab Dada gave the message, tell her that she can go to America. So Dadi Gulzar told me I am coming, because Dadi was also on a tour in 1985 for America. And during that time, Dadi was traveling alone. And she mentioned that you go, I'm coming. So, there is a inside, it's okay, Dadi's coming, so I'm going. So that's why Dadi Gulzar, Bab Dada decided that I go to America.
Wow, it's amazing. I remembered a story you told me, and doing service anywhere has its challenges. And in Los Angeles, the culture is very free-spirited. And you had asked Dadi Gulzar a question like, Dadi, why did Baba send me in this land? The souls are very, they're different. Their principles are different. And I remembered what you told me, and I don't know if you remembered, but Dadi told you that Los Angeles in America needed your purity. I don't know if you remember that response. Could you tell us a little more about that time?
So when Dadi ji sent me to, first I came to New York, and Dadi Gulzar was there, and after 1 month, they told me to go to San Francisco. And that time also, many stories I heard about. And again I told Dadi, why they sending me San Francisco? And before that, I went to Baba's room, and I, little bit heart-to-heart, sweet complaint to Baba, Baba, I gave my life to you, because none of my logic is in this knowledge. And with a very yukti-yukt way, tactic way, I decided this spiritual journey. And now, without my wish, they are sending me there. And again, Dadi Gulzar in the morning, she went and she says that, Geeta, go San Francisco. And once like Dadi said that, it was like Bab Dada said. So that moment, there was no any ill feeling. It was very light and very beautiful feeling. With that joy and happiness, I left for San Francisco. And after, I think so, 8 months, there was a Madhuban season, and we all came from San Francisco to Madhuban. And first thing, I went to Dadi Gulzar's room, and I asked Dadi, what a bad karma I did. Baba sent me at the end of the world, which I cannot open my heart, no communications. Because being in London, we had so many surrounding friends and equal. So we had a more communications, and we can really talk about. But early that time in 80s, when I came to San Francisco, it was very isolated and very lonely feeling, whom you can talk about. Dadi Gulzar told me that Baba sent you for 2 reasons. One thing, which land you are, there is no purity. So especially Baba sent you to be in that land and serve that land. And second thing, that in this birth, you experience the true love from your families. The land which is, they are running after the love. So these main 2 reasons, Baba sent you to America.
That's beautiful, and that's the unlimited service you're doing there. So many of us have seen Dadi Gulzar up there. Especially when Dadi Gulzar would walk out on the stage, you could see she was always very introverted, like she was preparing for her role. And for many of us who have seen Dadi for 30, 40 years, Dadi would be on the stage, and then this famous jerk would happen then people would clap in the hall or they would say, Baba has come. When you were with Dadi, after those meetings, what did you used to feel and what things did she ever say anything to you after those meetings of Bab Dada?
After the meeting, first thing I like to share about that when I was in San Francisco or Los Angeles, after I'm also the very visuals and very observer. So I visualize that now Babda means Dadi is in her body, and then she's going in her room, and after 5 minutes I call her. And whatever the scenery or whatever conversations we had Bab Dada, so I used to tell Dadi, you missed this part. Like very friendly conversation that Baba today this Baba said and Baba entertained children. Dadi, you missed it. And very, you know how Dadi have a very divine smile. And she says that what I saw, you miss it. Means what in subtle region, what the conversations I had, that you miss it. And notice that afterwards, like she read the Murli or she also the watch on the TV, that what Bab Dada said.
Now, is it true that when Baba would be with Dadi, Dadi wouldn't really know what Baba was saying through her?
Yes, that's the true.
Wow.
Because when I was saying that today Bab Dada said these things, and very carefully she was listening, she was saying, yeah.
Did Dadi ever explain to you what happens to her inside when Baba would enter?
We had a conversation, and that time she says that I just hand over myself to Baba, and then Baba take care of her, and I just remain kind of silent. And she don't know what's happening, nothing, until when they exchange in a subtle region, that Baba says, okay, now you can go. And then when she comes, and then she really observe what's like everything is there.
What were some of the questions you remembered asking Dadi Gulzar about this journey? Like, if Baba would leave Paramdam, then is he not helping other souls? Because if Baba has left Paramdam, is working through Dadi Gulzar, and we're here, what happened to all the other souls? Did you ever ask her questions like that?
Yes, one time one of the sister asked, because when Bab Dada goes to, when Dadi goes in trance, another side it's in a Madhuban, they offering also book to Baba, because after finishing Baba's program, the children have to eat. And he says, but Baba is here, and whom they remember.
Yeah.
So he says that Baba, when Avyak Bab Dada when speak, when the words come out. And when the words come out, then there is a little gap. In that little time, when the sound comes out, and when in that time, Baba do many, many service. In that kind of second.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
So when the words coming out, when the sound comes, when we listen, in between time, many things, Baba do that.
That's new, that's amazing. Just going back a little bit, what was your first experience in front of Dadi Gulzar when Baba wasn't in her?
One thing, because there is not that much difference, but when Bab Dada comes consciously, we aware about now Bab Dada is coming. Because when she was normally, the way whatever act she is doing normally, and when Avyak Bab Dada speaks, similar.
Interesting.
Yeah, similar.
Wow. I remembered going in front of Dadi Gulzar, and you kind of just felt like you were in front of the purest person you could ever be with. Like she was seeing nothing about you that was wrong. Everything was very, very pure. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
What I felt, those who met Avyak Bab-Dada personally, during that time, especially from double foreigners and sisters, sisters, lots of feeling, holding. And as soon as comes Avyak Bab-Dada, and when Baba gave drashti, and so much like, the water comes down from their eyes, until that soul, not like kinds of happy or not like contained, Bab-Dada never allowed her to go. And whatever the speciality of that soul, Baba don't see that what in the current form, but Baba was looking behind that scenery. And that's what I also saw in Dadi Gulzar. Whoever comes in front of, she will not see who they are, but she always see the other side of the person. And everyone feels belonging. The belonging. Even you first time you met or you are just a new person, but she actually allowed everybody to feel that we all are one, we all belongs to Baba, and that kind of feelings were so strong.
Yeah, beautiful. It's might be a silly question to ask, but some of us sometimes wonder, do souls like Dadi Gulzar ever get afraid of anything? Have you ever seen her frustrated, upset?
She never's upset, but yes, she afraid of the person who is very angry. Anger, like she's really, same thing, Dadi Janki also. She never liked those speak very loud voice or very kind of like strong voice. Yes, there was a little.
Tell me that story. Was somebody ever in front of Dadi Gulzar? I can't believe anybody would go in front of Dadi Gulzar angry. But was ever somebody upset in front of her, you saw?
Yes.
Oh. You won't tell us the name?
No. They are our family. Family members, you cannot share, no.
Yes, yes. So during the pandemic, a lot changed for us as a community. We had to say goodbye to a lot of our daddies, Dadi Janki, and then the drama was very gentle with us because it slowly prepared us to say goodbye to Dadi Gulzar. During that period, you were one of the only people I know that was so close to her. You would leave from California, go and stay with her in Mumbai. Let's talk about those days behind the scenes. What did you feel like when you first went to Mumbai and saw Dadi Gulzar in that space?
Last 3 years before Dadi left the body, she was majority times in Bombay. And what I felt, that Baba had some bigger task, and Baba is using her silence power in Yagya. Because what happened that time, many times, they says that let Dadi come to Madhuban. And unnecessary, I know that people was blaming Niluban, that she's the not one bringing Dadi in the Madhuban. But that was not truth. I was eyewitness. As soon as doctor says, there was a conversations, Dadi was in the bed, there was a conversations with doctor and Niluban. And Niluban was asking Dadi that, doctor, that there was so much invoking Madhuban that we can take Dadi at least once. And doctor says, yeah, everything is fine. We can prepare Dadi to go. And Dadi was just lying. Dadi listened the conversation. And when they looked the pyramid, it was going slowly like down. Doctor was also amazed about right now she was okay and why this is happening things.
Oh, wow.
And but I was really strongly, I had felt that last 3 years, that was Dadi's time. Because 2017, December 31st, if you remember, Baba said, Samapti. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And after that, Dadi had to go to hospital. And since these 3 years, I felt it was her personal time to wind up and the practice what she wanted to practice, even though she was silenced, the practice of bodiless stage, practice of soul conscious stage, it was so powerfully visible that moment. Because when the COVID happened, I was there. And everybody was says, don't go. That time it was only in China. And all these sisters says, don't go, stay 1 month and afterwards you can go. But somehow my inside says, go now. And I listened my being that moment. And then I said to sisters that right now I'm going, whenever you need, I will come back. And so the last what I took the Dadi's drishti, nobody was allowing to meet Dadi or thing, but somehow that time I was there and we exchanged maybe more than like 40, 50 seconds drishti. In that drishti, I said, I don't want to analyze right now, just take these vibrations right now. Drama will reveal automatically when it wants to reveal. So I really took that powerful drishti from Dadi. And when I went back to Los Angeles, after 2 days, everything shut off. Mm-hmm. And what that drishti was, so many things, little things, kinds of naturally revealed about. And we felt this is a time for Brahmin to go inside inner world, which I don't think so any of the Brahmin had that opportunity, because we more externally was doing service. But that time you cannot go, you cannot do anything. And I felt that time, that whole this moment, even COVID happened, is for the Brahmin to take the benefit, to go step in and see your inner world, how beautiful it is. Mm-hmm. And whatever we attended from Baba, from Dadis, from seniors, that time we had to contemplate and strengthen ourselves. Because Baba said that time will come, you will not have your time. And I'm sure everybody must have felt, now we don't have our time. So many souls need our help. So that time, he asked question to Dadi before I left, that Dadi, do you know in the world this thing is happening? And very detached, very silently, Dadi used just one word, this is the beginning. And during that time in China, so many souls was leaving body. So another question asked, Dadi, what the effort we make? Dadi just used 2 words, Ana, Jana. Ana means to come and Jana means to go. Whenever you have your part, you play and then you go up. Means you detach and then again you can plan. And the third question says, what another effort we make? And Dadi says, soul consciousness. one simple like kind of word, but it was so powerful and so meaningful that in our Brahmin life, whatever our status or our stage depends upon our inner effort, soul consciousness. So I always request everybody, spend as much as time instead of talking or chatting or unnecessary like sharing. Spend time with your inner world in yourself. Listen to your being, what your heart is saying, and don't talk too much to Baba. Don't ask too much to Baba. Whatever we wanted to ask, long conversation every day we had. But now, listen to Baba, what Baba is saying to you. And that what last moment I saw in Dadi Gulzar, she was just kind of listening, feeling that. One like incident happens sometimes, that even blood, when nurse came and take the blood, that little like injections also sometimes your expression change. I notice in Dadi no any face expression change. She's just in her yogi energy, just like she's in remembrance of Baba. So much like you go near her, the vibration of the lightness so deeply. Even the Lokik doctors so much serve about that also.
What was her morning routine like?
She, last moment or?
No, the last few months, maybe the last year or last 6 months.
One thing I notice, Amrit Vela never missed about. Even though Dadi was in her the bed, but Amrit Vela, she always was there. And then afterwards, they...
Was she still giving messages at Amrit Vela to people who were there?
She was not using the words. Like when you speak, and Dadi just give that powerful drashti, but not like any message she brought, but you really receive the message by her vibrations, what Baba thinks. It's something kind of like a very positive energy. You experience that what Baba has said today.
It's a signal. So did she read the Murli? Was the Murli read to her every morning?
In the beginning, yes, I think so. Last 6-7 months, I think so. Sisters was reading Murli, or we was showing her on the TV. Dadi Ji was reading Murli, or Dadi Janki was reading Murli. Yeah.
Sometimes Dadi Janki, Brother Nirvir, would keep telling Dadi, come to Madhuban. What were some of the conversations they would have together over the phone when Dadi Janki would try to convince Dadi Gulzar to come? What were the things she would say to Dadi Janki?
She just, nothing, no words, but smile, just like this. Nodded head.
Many of us were concerned that how could Dadi Gulzar just not want to come back with the big family and be with us, and we miss her. We used to have this thought, why do you think she really stayed away that long? Is it just really her self-efforts?
Actually, I just personally felt that whatever Baba had to say through her mouth, whatever even they had to sustain the children, they did a lot. And so then, with the vibrations, I really strongly felt that Yajna needed that powerful Dadi's silence. Same thing in the world, energy was so different.
Yeah.
Wanted to use Dadi's like that silence. And it was so obvious, so like a powerful feeling about that how Bab Dada using her, even though she's in the bed, but so much powerful vibrations. Even Yajna was passing through many like little challenges. But who was that behind that?
Wow.
Their power.
Wow, that's very powerful, very powerful. What did she used to eat on a daily basis?
Normal way or?
Just like what was her, like I love pakora. Did she eat pakoras? Did she?
She loves the mango. She likes the persimmon, the fruit.
Persimmon.
Yes, very much. So I used to bring that. And many times, early time, we used to tell Dadi, by mistake you born in India, like Indian body. You should be in the, Western body. And Dadi just smiled. She loves all the Western food, pasta, bread. She loves the toast bread, sandwich, pizza, everything she loves, all the Western food, yeah.
Did you know that?
And that's why we say that Dadi is for the foreigners, She loved the foreigners dearly,
Did she used to walk around a lot in those days, or she stayed in the bed most times?
When?
In the last 6 months?
No, she not, because her legs was quite weak, but they put in a wheelchair and taking Dadi wherever she had to go, yeah.
So even though she was very above, did you notice if she was ever in discomfort or pain?
No, that was a very amazing part. I saw Dadi Janki, and Dadi Janki, like whenever Dadi had a stomach pain, and I noticed when the pain was so severe, she just pointed like this, 1 minute, and then Dadi Janki was also like going in very silent, and within 1 minute, she start where she was finished, and she continue about that. So I noticed in Dadi Gulzar that we never said that anytime pain, anything. So when Niluben, when she touched, and little bit expressions, little different, then Niluben have to find out what's happening in Dadi's body.
Oh, wow.
So Dadi was totally beyond this pain. So many times the question arises that she's Bab Dada's chariot and why she's suffering, but she never ever suffer any time, because I never saw any expressions on her face, different pain. And Niluben have to know where the pain is, because when doctor comes, so how she talked about. So Niluben have to really press little area and then know that, okay, Dadi have this pain here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever gotten bitten by a mosquito? It's just so little. She was such a beautiful woman, spiritually, physically. Everything about Dadi Gulzar was so perfect. So here we are, a little bit over a year, right? Since she's left. Is it 2 years now?
March 11th.
March
It
11th.
was her 2 years completed. Actually on Shivratri, 2 years, because that day when she left, it was Shivratri.
Amazing.
I like to share something about that.
Please.
Yeah? So prior to she left March 11th in the morning, 10:30, traffic control time. But before 2 weeks ago, Niluben and myself, we went to Dadi's room that time, early in the morning, 6 o'clock. Dadi White opened her eyes and she looked at Niluben. And Niluben understand what Dadi is saying, even no words, nothing, but that with the signal. And Niluben says that, I know Dadi, you want to leave, you want to go Bab Dada, but I'm not ready. And Dadi look at it and she says, Niluben says, Dadi, give some time. Dadi again give powerful drashti and she closed her eyes. And then after 1 week, in the morning, I supposed to leave on 10th, March 10th, coming back to America. But somehow my inside says, no, stay there. So I changed my ticket, and that day I thought that we did whole night meditation. If I was in the plane, I was awake. So we did whole night meditations, and in the morning, Niluben and myself, we went to Dadi's room, and she opened again the eye, and this was the March 10th, and Niluben says, Dadi, I know you want to leave. Okay, you can go, but in one condition, I never leave you alone anytime, so you also have to give me company all the time. I do remember 1985 when Niluben came, she was only 14 years old, and language was her different, but naturally young girl, and I used to come from London, and so Dadi Gulzar told me that Geeta give her company. So since that up to now, I never left my part what Dadi gave me. I'm much older than her, but somehow just understand the soul's what requires me and everything. So Dadi on 11th in the morning, gradually her parameter was a little bit down. And so everyone naturally, all the main teachers and all the doctors, and they all came in that room. And what I personally felt that before Dadi left, that Bab Dada take her consciousness much, I think maybe 2-3 days ago. But because Bab Dada served that body through that body, so Baba was respecting that body also. And at the end, how Baba give drashti to each child. So we all were around her bed. So she gave we felt actually, I personally felt like Avyak Bab Dada gave the drashti to everyone. And then still Dadi was a soul was there. And then one doctor was not came, and that was Dadi's liver doctor, very special doctor. And so when he came, Dadi gave drashti, and then afterwards few minutes, just close her eyes and just left. I did many funerals, but I never saw that how soul just kind of closed the eyes and just soul left. Not eyes open or not mouth open, nothing. Very royal way the soul left. And that what Baba says that in golden age when you leave the body, when the soul leave the body, how soul leave. And I felt that moment, this is a way how you will leave the body without any pain or suffering or any kind of things. And completely that moment, there was a dead silence, like how Avyak Bab Dada comes and how the dead silence, and that was the dead silence in the, that room. It was in the hospital. Usually those who are very close, the tear comes, everything, but nobody cries, the atmosphere was so powerful. Even the whole hospital, they was also felt so powerfully. It was COVID time, nobody allowed. But then they allowed 4 hours that any white dress BK comes, they can come and visit that time. So that much, by lying in this bed, Dadi did such a great service. That was amazing. So I personally feel that there is no excuses in the mind you create and waste your time, energy. We can do it if we want to. That's what the lessons I learn about.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's so amazing. I was just thinking of what it must have been like, that scene in that room. And just having that privilege of witnessing that kind of departure would make you think so much about the way you're living. And I'm hoping that our conversation awakened in you just the responsibility of how to live, but also even how to die. and that our death should be of service. Sister Geeta, thank you so much for your time and your sweetness and your experience with such a beautiful soul. There is nobody else in the entire world like Dadi Gulzar. And I'm sure she's continuously with you, and you must be remembering so many teachings along the way. Is there one last thing you'd like to share with us today that you feel is important for us to know?
Like being a Brahmin, we are not ordinary soul. Each and everyone felt Baba himself has chosen all of us. See your speciality, what you have. Use that in Baba's seva unconditionally, selflessly, without expecting thank you or praise or defamation. Just play your part the way Baba has chosen you. You will be loved by yourself. You will be respected by yourself. And always feel Baba's both blessing hands is on your head. You're already blessed. You don't need blessings. But just what you are, the soul, the way you are, play naturally, organically, your part. Om Shanti.
Thank you both for an enchanting time and many insights on the life of Dadi Gulzar and some of your experiences as well. And so, should we give him a big hand? And we'll end with a song, unless there's any other last remarks. Okay. Om Shanti. Thank you again.
अव्यक्त बाबा का साकार रूप हो, दादी गुलजार बखूबी निभा रही हो अपना ये किरदार। भागीरथी छोटा नंदी तुम सबकी प्राण प्यारी हो, है भागीरथी छोटा नंदी तुम सबकी प्राण प्यारी हो। शांत शीतल सादगी वाली, शांत शीतल सादगी वाली मीठी मीठी दादी हमारी हो, मीठी मीठी दादी हमारी हो। हे भागीरथी छोटा नंदी तुम सबकी प्राण प्यारी हो, तुम सबकी प्राण प्यारी हो।